Yes, there. So imagine if World War III happened. Which are the safest country that you would go to and be in? So some countries are Iceland states with political neutrality, which means that the likelihood of a military conflict is quite low. So imagine it's World War III happening. Okay, which countries would you really prefer to move to that are the safest? So learn more about the countries that are likely to participate in World War III in the top safest country in the world in 2024. Where is World War III likely to take place? So before looking for the safest place, it is worth determining which countries are most likely to host hostilities. It is impossible to say exact who will start World War III, but sides are fairly easy to predict as they will most likely correspond to the current geopolitical climate. One side will consist of the United States of America, the European Union, and the rest of the NATO members. The opponents are Russia, China, North Korea, and the allies. I'll give you a list of certain countries you should move to that are the safest. Imagine it's World War III. So I'm gonna put the on the TikTok description, and I hope it really shades light which country are the safest. So let's start with Antarctica. So during World War III, there will be no safe place on the planet than Antarctica. Theoretically, you can hide in one of the scientific outposts and wait for the end of hostilities. However, we note that it will be possible to save yourself here for only the first time, because it will be extremely difficult to provide yourself with food on the icy continent. Makes sense. I mean, if you live in Antarctica, it will be helpful to provide food in icy continent. Makes sense. So our number 2 on the list is Fiji. So Fiji is an island nation located in the southern western part of the Pacific Ocean. The close neighbor of the island is Australia, which is more than 4,345 kilometers away. So Fiji itself does not have much to offer in terms of military strategy or resources. The country has a very small army, about 6,000, so neither side of World War III would perceive it as a threat. Also, there are not many natural resources on the territory of that state. So moving on to number 3 is Iceland. Iceland is the leader of Global Peacefulness Index, and the country is thousands of kilometers away from the United Kingdom and the rest of Europe. This is why during Third World War, the state is unlikely to be in direct danger. So Iceland is a great option. It's my good country. There's plenty land to settle in if you need to find a place to wait out the war. In fact, the current population of the country average 3 people per square kilometer. Our number 4 is Greenland. The more difficult the region is to reach, the safest it will be during a war. Therefore, hiding in Greenland is a pretty good idea. As with Antarctica, war will probably never reach you at this extreme latitude. However, you will have to learn the costume of the local inhabitants and learn to live using the gifts of the earth in polar climate. But it will be all worth it, because you will have a safe place to live during this Third World War. And number 5, Argentina. Argentina has experienced many wars. You guys don't even know how much wars Argentina actually experienced. It only the country is now claimed to Falkland Island in 1982. In Great Britain, the South American country will be the most successful place to experience famine after a nuclear war, if a nuclear war of course happens. Now, considering that studies have shown that release of 100 nuclear bombs could smoke that sun could be covered. Okay, such situation can lead to famine and crop failure. As a result, Argentina would be a good place to live without its abundance of sustainable crops such as wheat and its remote location. Okay, we are moving on now. Our number 6 is New Zealand. It's a separate but developed country that does not participate in any army conflicts in the world. So New Zealand is a safe place. They have enough food, clean water, and fertile soil to sustain itself. In the short term, the infrastructure of the state is developed and high level. The country is working on becoming independent for many decades. So, number 6 is Bhutan. Bhutan joined the UN. The country has agreed to take a neutral side in any conflict, surrounded by mountains. One is the most remote and landlocked countries in the world. Its geographic location and foraging policy will protect the population if war does break. So Bhutan is a great option. The foraging policy will protect you. I'm gonna put Bhutan and TikTok down, so you will see the policy if you are willing to move there. And number 7 is Ireland. Besides its proximity to England, a potential participant in the Third War, Ireland maintains a completely independent foraging policy and refrains from NATO memberships. So they maintain a completely independent foraging policy. So that's really good for Ireland because of independence of policy. So it's also good. Okay, Switzerland. For more than 200 years, Switzerland's main principle in foraging policy has been the position of neutrality. Also, the country is reliably protected out to its geographical location and landscape. So Switzerland is a good option in case of World War III happen. Indonesia, number 9. The Indonesian islands are quiet and relatively safe place to survive in the event of a global war. The state mindset and neutrality in the world political issues. Also, the country has a fairly well-developed infrastructure and agriculture, which will ensure access to food. Moving on to number 12, we are almost done. 11, Tuvalu is a 16 square kilometer chain of Iceland, located over 1,600 kilometers north of Fiji. So it's very close to Fiji, and also an option. Our number 12 is Chile, a South American country that has a well natural resources and numerous geological features that make for an easy escape that should war ever reach South America. And the last one is South Africa. South Africa is the perfect place to hide from the horrors of World War III. The country has many sources of food, fresh water, and supplies and fertile land. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In case of World War III happen, I'm gonna put these countries on the link down on TikTok. Question I get: where will it be safe during World War II? Taking into account possible participants, we can conclude the safest will be Iceland states with political neutrality because the probability of invading them is low. Countries that occupy high position in the World Peace Index. So these are the 13 safest countries. Imagine if it's World War III, these countries, I'm gonna put them down below. And my really favorite one is Ireland. I'm gonna put the policy that they have if you're willing to move to Ireland. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Yes.